Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Wait, you're telling me a coin that looks like pocket change from 2010 could secretly trick people into missing real money, like actual collectible value hiding in plain sight? It all starts with the 2010 Sacagawea dollar, a golden-looking dollar coin that most people assume is just modern pocket change. Nothing special, nothing rare. Just something you'd ignore at the bottom of a drawer. On the front, you see Sacagawea holding her child, calm expression, simple design, and on the back, bold lettering that says $1, clean, modern, almost too normal to be interesting. And that's exactly the trap, because when something looks too common, people stop looking closer, and that's where mistakes get made. Let me tell you something that sounds unreal. A guy in Colorado was sorting through a cup of change in his truck, parking lot coins, drive-through leftovers, random change from years of spending. He spots a shiny gold colored dollar coin, almost throws it back in the cup, but something about the shine feels different, sharper, cleaner, like it hadn't been handled much. Later that night, he checks it online, compares details, and that single coin ends up selling for over $1,000 because of a rare minting variation in high-grade condition. Now here's where you come in, because you need to know exactly what to look for before you ever spend one of these. First, hold the coin under a bright light. Tilt it slowly, watch how it reflects. A normal coin looks dull or evenly colored, but better preserved or special strike examples can look unusually clean and bright, almost glowing in certain angles. Next, check the edges closely, run your finger along the rim. It should feel consistent and uniform. Any unusual texture or weak strike areas could signal something worth investigating further. Now zoom in visually on Sacagawea's face and the details of her child. Look for sharpness, crisp lines, clear definition in the hair and features, because weak strikes or overly soft details are usually common, but sharp high-detail strikes stand out to collectors. Flip it over and study the lettering on the back, especially $1 and the eagle design. If the lines look extra clean or unusually bold compared to normal worn coins, that's a detail worth paying attention to. And here's the part most people never check: mint errors. Look closely at the date 2010 and the D mint mark under the date. If anything looks doubled, slightly off, or misaligned, that's not normal wear. That could be a mint error that collectors actively hunt for. Also check if the coin looks unusually different from others you've seen. Even small variations in shine or strike quality can separate a normal coin from a collectible one. Now here's the reality that shocks most people: these coins are still everywhere, still being spent, still sitting in jars, because nobody thinks a modern dollar coin could ever be valuable. That's exactly why they get missed, and that's exactly why some end up in the hands of collectors for far more than face value when the right variation shows up. So right now, there could be one sitting in your house, in a cup holder, a junk drawer, or loose change you've completely forgotten about. And here's the urgency: modern coins like this don't stay hidden forever. People are learning what to look for, and the best examples disappear quickly once they're identified. Top 2. Wait, you've probably held this coin in your hand before, and literally thought it was worth nothing. But what if I told you that exact coin has quietly shocked collectors for decades? It's the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, a small dollar coin that gets mistaken for a quarter all the time. Worn edges, dull silver tone, easy to ignore, easy to spend. On the front you see Susan B. Anthony staring forward, serious expression, and on the back, a simple eagle landing on the moon. Nothing flashy, nothing that screams valuable treasure. And that's exactly why people miss it, because when a coin looks common, most people stop paying attention, and that's where the hidden opportunities slip away. Let me tell you something that sounds unreal. A woman in New York was cleaning out her late aunt's kitchen drawer, old coupons, paper clips, and a handful of loose change. At the bottom, a small, dull-looking dollar coin. She almost tossed it into a coin jar without thinking, but something made her pause. The size felt odd, the detail looked unusually sharp. She looked it up, got it checked, and that single coin ended up selling for over $2,000 because of its condition and rare variation. Now imagine that, a coin most people treat like pocket change, turning into real money just because someone took a closer look. So what are you supposed to look for? First, check the size. This coin is small, almost the same size as a quarter, and that's one of the biggest reasons it Got ignored when it was released. Now hold it under a bright light, tilt it slowly, watch the surface. Most circulated coins look flat and dull, but higher grade examples or special strikes can reflect light more smoothly, almost like a soft shine across the surface. Next, look closely at Susan B. Anthony's face, especially the hair and eye detail. Is it soft and worn, or crisp and defined, almost like it was freshly minted? That sharp detail matters, because collectors pay more for strong strikes and well-preserved coins. Flip it over, look at the eagle and the moon landing design, check the edges of the feathers, the surface of the moon, the lettering. If everything looks bold and clean instead of faded and flat, your coin just moved into a higher value category. Now here's where things get interesting. Errors. Look at the date, 1979, and the words around the coin. Do you see any doubling? Like a faint shadow behind the numbers or letters? That's not wear, that's a mint error. And collectors actively search for it. Also check alignment. If the design is slightly off-center or uneven, that can significantly increase value. And don't ignore the edges, run your finger along it. If it feels unusually sharp or inconsistent compared to normal coins, that's another clue worth noting. Here's the crazy part. This coin failed in circulation when it was first released. People confused it with quarters so often that millions were ignored or spent without care. That's exactly why. It's still floating around today, in jars, drawers, old purses, forgotten boxes. And that means right now, you could be holding one without even realizing it. And here's the urgency. Collectors know what to look for now, and the best condition examples are getting harder to find every year. This quarter might look like just another ordinary coin in your pocket, but the 2000 Maryland State quarter carries history, beauty, and hidden value that many collectors are still searching for today. Released as part of the highly popular 50 State Quarters program, this coin represents Maryland and quickly became a favorite among collectors because of its elegant and meaningful design. On the front, you will see the familiar portrait of George Washington, a timeless symbol of American leadership and independence that has been featured on quarters for generations. But when you turn the coin over, this is where it truly stands out, because the reverse features the iconic Maryland State House dome, surrounded by oak branches, representing strength, endurance, and the rich history of the state. This design is not only visually appealing, but it also tells a deeper story about Maryland's role in American history, making the coin more than just currency and turning it into a collectible piece of heritage. Because it was released in the early years of the State Quarters program, millions of people saved these coins, hoping to complete full collections, and that created a huge demand from the very beginning. However, even though millions were minted, not all 2000 Maryland quarters are equal in value, and this is where things become truly exciting for collectors. Condition plays a major role in determining value, and coins that remain in uncirculated condition with bright luster and sharp details are far more desirable than those that have been worn down through circulation. Collectors look closely for coins that still shine, with clean surfaces and strong details, because these qualities make a coin stand out and increase its worth. But the real excitement begins when we talk about mint errors, because this is where an ordinary Maryland quarter can turn into a rare and valuable treasure. One of the most eye-catching errors is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck incorrectly and the design appears shifted, creating a unique and highly collectible appearance. Another fascinating error is the double die, where parts of the design appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process, and this can often be seen in the lettering or fine details of the dome. There are also die cracks and cuts, which occur when the minting die begins to wear out or break, leaving raised lines or unusual shapes on the coin surface. Clipped planchet errors are another rare discovery, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an issue with the metal blank before it was struck, giving the coin a distinct and unusual shape. Some collectors even search for coins struck on the wrong planchet, which are extremely rare and highly valuable because they were never meant to exist in the first place. Another important factor that can increase value is high-grade certification, because coins graded at the highest levels are extremely difficult to find and are in strong demand among serious collectors. Some Maryland quarters also develop beautiful natural toning over time, adding subtle colors that can enhance their visual appeal and make them even more desirable. What makes this coin especially exciting is that many people still have it in circulation, coin jars, or old collections, often without realizing that certain versions could be worth much more than 25 cents. this creates a perfect opportunity for collectors. Because valuable coins are still out there waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for, the thrill of checking your coins and finding a rare error or high-grade example is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby. Imagine finding a simple quarter that turns out to be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching every single day. So the next time you come across a 2000 Maryland quarter, don't just spend it. Without thinking, take a closer look, examine every detail, and you might be holding a hidden treasure. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's real market, and this is the part every collector is waiting for. A regular circulated 2000 Maryland state quarter is usually worth 25 cents to $1 depending on condition. An uncirculated example with strong luster can be worth $1 to several dollars. High-grade certified coins can reach values of $20 to over $100 depending on quality. Top 4. Wait, what if I told you a tiny gold coin from almost 200 years ago could be worth more than a brand new car, and most people don't even realize it exists? This is the legendary 1825 to 1829 capped bust gold quarter eagle, a small gold coin from the early United States, struck in a time when the country was still young, still building its identity. Back then, money wasn't just paper or pocket change, it was real gold, hand-struck, hand-carried, and often lost to history in the most unbelievable ways, and that's exactly why these coins create chaos today, because what looks like a simple worn gold disc can secretly be worth thousands, sometimes far more. Let me tell you a story that sounds like something out of a movie. A family in Virginia was cleaning out an old wooden box from their attic, dusty, brittle papers, old photographs, and one small cloth pouch. Inside that pouch, a tiny gold-colored coin. Darkened with age, no shine left, just a dull historical piece that looked almost forgotten by time. They almost sold it for scrap gold value, almost, but something made them pause. The design looked too old, too detailed, too different from modern coins, so they had it checked, and that little, forgotten, coin ended up being valued at over $7,000. Now imagine almost melting that down without knowing. So what makes a coin like this so special? And how do you even recognize it if you ever see one? First, look at the size. It's small, much smaller than modern coins, almost like a button made of gold. Now look at the design. You'll often see Liberty on the front, wearing a capped bust, with detailed engraving that looks almost hand-carved, because it was. Flip it over, you'll usually see a simple eagle design, powerful, but not overly complex like modern coins. Now here's where your attention needs to lock in. Step 1. Check the date carefully. 1825. 1826. 1827. 1828, or 1829, even a worn date matters, because collectors can identify these coins even when the numbers are barely visible. Step 2. Look at the surface under light. Real early gold coins often show uneven wear patterns, soft fading, and natural aging that modern coins simply don't have. Step 3. Check the edges. They should not look perfectly modern or machine perfect. Older coins often have subtle irregularities from early minting processes. Step 4. Feel the weight, even without tools. Gold coins from this era have a dense, heavy feel that stands out immediately compared to modern replicas. And here's the shocking part most people don't realize. These coins are extremely rare today because so many were melted down over time. Gold value, wars, economic shifts, they disappeared piece by piece. That means surviving examples are already limited, and high-grade ones are even rarer. So if one shows up in an attic, an estate sale, or an old family collection, it can instantly become a life-changing discovery, and that's why urgency matters, because these coins don't stay hidden forever once people learn what to look for. Collectors are constantly hunting them, museums compete for them, private buyers pay huge premiums for wealth. Top 5. Wait, what if a shiny gold-looking dollar coin from the year 2000, sitting in your pocket change right now, is not just worth $1, but could secretly turn into thousands? This is the 2000 D Sacagawea dollar, a modern-looking gold-colored coin that most people toss aside without a second thought, because it looks too new, too common, too ordinary to matter. On the front, you've got Sacagawea holding her child, calm, powerful, and on the back, a soaring eagle, clean design, nothing That screams hidden treasure, and that's exactly why people miss it, because when something looks too normal, nobody bothers to look closer, and that's where real money gets overlooked every single day. Let me tell you something that sounds almost unbelievable. A man in Texas was cleaning out his truck console after years of driving. Receipts, coins, random fast food change. At the bottom, a golden dollar coin. Slightly darker than the others, he almost spent it at a gas station, almost, but something felt different. The shine looked deeper, the surface looked cleaner than the rest, so he kept it, checked it later, and that one coin ended up being sold for over $2,000 because it turned out to be a rare variety collectors actively hunt for. Now imagine almost losing that in a vending machine. So what exactly should you be looking for? First, hold the coin under a bright light, tilt it slowly. Most 2000D coins have a dull uniform shine, but rare examples or high-grade strikes can show a smoother, almost glowing golden reflection. That subtle difference is your first clue. Next, inspect the details closely. Sacagawea's face, her hair, the child, do the lines look sharp and clean, or soft and slightly faded? Collectors pay big money for coins with strong strike detail, because it means better quality from the minting process. Now flip it over, look at the eagle in flight, check the feathers, the wing edges, the motion detail. If everything looks bold, crisp, and well-defined instead of flat, your coin just became more interesting. Now here's where things get exciting, and where most people completely miss the value. Look at the date, 2000, and the D mint mark under it. Do you see anything unusual, doubling, misalignment, or strange spacing? That's where mint errors hide, and mint errors are where serious value begins. Even small doubling in letters or numbers can turn a common coin into a collectible that people actively search for. Also check for anything that looks slightly different compared to other coins in your change. Shine, texture, strike quality, even small differences matter. Now here's the truth that surprises most people. This coin was mass-produced for circulation, so most people assume it has no value beyond $1, but early production quirks, rare errors, and high-grade examples still exist, and they slip through everyday hands unnoticed. That means right now, there could be one sitting in your house, in a coin jar, a car cup holder, or buried in old change you forgot about. And here's the urgency: collectors are constantly searching through these coins, and once a rare one is identified, it disappears fast into private collections. So don't wait, check your change, check your drawers, check anywhere coins might be hiding, because the difference between $1 and thousands could come down to a detail smaller than you'd ever expect. And just when you think this modern coin story can't get crazier, there's another Sacagawea dollar out there, even rarer, with a famous minting mistake so valuable that when it appears at auction, collectors don't just react, they lose their minds.